everybody, and welcome to another episode of MBHL on the Ball, your one-stop shop for all MBHL action you need. I'm Matthew Harewood. We've come a long way from the start of the winter season and find ourselves in the last week of the regular season. Teams are either battling for a playoff position or even battling just to make it into the springtime dance. Let's get straight to the action. Our first game comes from the D-League and has Terminators facing off with Piranhas. Terminators sit currently in second place. A single point in this game, combined with a Trailer Park Boys loss, would give the Terminators a first place in the standings. The Piranhas come into this game with a 2-2-1 record in their last 5 games and hope to bounce back from a 2-1 loss in their last outing. These two teams met in the first week of the season, with Terminators winning that one 3-2. Getting right into the action, Patrick O'Neill finds Dave Doucette coming through the middle, who goes around Jeff Howells, giving Justin Cibar an open net to make it 1-0, Terminators. Terminators are looking to add to their lead moments later, but this time Howell's unorthodox style of goaltending shines like never before, most notably stoning O'Neill in front with a stack pad save. Midway through the period, Piranhas will tie the game up at 1. Jimmy Goral picks up his own rebound before the Terminators defenseman can clear the crease, tapping the ball past the sprawled goalie. Less than 2 minutes later, Matt Butcher will give the Piranhas their first lead of the game when he enters the zone untouched and wires a wrister high glove side on goalie Richard Ziner. Now in the second period with the score 2-2, O'Neill and Cibar show why they're two of the top young guns with a beautiful give and go, resulting in the Terminators' third goal of the game. With the Terminators on a penalty kill, Piranhas start buzzing in the offensive zone. Ziner is forced to make several big saves while the 4 penalty killers can't quite clear the zone. Finally, after all those saves, the ball will make its way back to the point, and Goral will pick up his second goal of the night to tie things back up at 3 on the rebound. Back in Piranha's zone, Matt Bazinet does some good forechecking which forces the defenseman to lose the ball. Frank Dalphon finds Steph Cibar alone in front and with an empty net. He won't be missing from there. Terminators back up 4-3. In the dying minutes of the game, Neil Matriciano will tie the game back up at 4 goals apiece with a bullet from the point off a face-off win in the Terminator zone. Looking to preserve the 4-4 tie, Ziner will make his biggest save of the night against Vasil Nechev with a diving blocker save. A big save at a crucial time in the game. O'Neill would score an empty net goal with the Piranhas needing the win and pulling their goalie, and the Terminators would win this one 5-4. 4 players had multi-point games for the Terminators, while 5 did the same for Piranhas. With the win, Terminators move straight on through to the semifinals, while the Piranhas will face off with Les Pounes. For our second game, we move to the A-League where Stag takes on Any Given Wednesday. Stag are second in the league with 13 points, which is one more than Any Given Wednesday, who sit in third place. Stag are looking for their second straight win heading into the playoffs, while Any Given Wednesday will hope to get back to their winning ways after last week's setback. In their only other meeting this year, Any Given Wednesday beat Stag 6-4. We enter this game less than a minute in, where the Stag D coughs out the ball to the always dangerous Ali Naruzzi, who won't miss his opportunity, beating Bobby Ikovic to make it 1-0 Any Given Wednesday. AGW is still buzzing in the Stag zone minutes later. This time, Vasil Nechev, highlighted here, will lose his man Jordan Lennon, who walks into the slot and beats the Stag goalie with a nice backhand to make it 2-0 Any Given Wednesday. Trying to make it 3-0 early in the first, Ivkovic looks to put a stop to it when he makes the save up close on Phil DiGiacomo's tip. Stag's first good chance comes from a good friend and teammate Marc-André Laroche, who can't beat Greg Kelly on the backhand. The score is now 3-0 AGW when Lennon gets through 3 defenders before feeding Chris Smith up close to increase the lead to 4. Safe to say that at this point, Stag is wishing this was any other Wednesday. Now in the second and with the score 5-0, Stag finally get on the board when Sean McGraw unleashes a howitzer that beats Kelly glove side. 1 minute later, Eric Paquin does some good work on the boards to secure the ball and makes his way into the slot, before finding Matt David who taps in the ball to cut the lead down to 3. Will Lennon was awarded a penalty shot after being hauled down on a breakaway. He breaks in and tries to beat Ivkovic with a Forsberg-esque move, but can't finish. With 9 minutes left in the period, Stag think they've scored another goal when the ball goes in after David passes the ball in front from a sharp angle, but as the replay shows, Paquin hits the ball with his glove and the goal is disallowed. In the final seconds of the game, with the score now 5-3, Stag are rolling hard in AGW zone when Paquin skillfully redirects David's shot over Kelly's shoulder with exactly 1 second remaining to the game. Any Given Wednesday wins this 5-4. With the win, Any Given Wednesday leapfrog over Stag to claim second place in the A-League. This game was truly a game where each team dominated a period, with AGW scoring 4 goals in the first and Stag doing the same in the second. Stag now face VIPs in the quarterfinals, while Any Given Wednesday goes toe-to-toe with Barracudas for a spot in the finals. We head back to the D-League for our third game with the Gamblers squaring off against PCUK. This game has little meaning when talking about playoff positioning, but both teams like to finish the regular season on a high note. The Gamblers hold the last playoff spot and would like to move forward with a win tonight. For PCUK, it's the end of a long season where they only won once in 12 games. The Gamblers won the only other meeting between these two teams, 4-1. We start this game off with the Gamblers attacking in PCUK territory. DJ Brown grabs the ball in the corner and looks for an open man. He finally decides to tee one up and manages to squeeze the ball short side on Martin Thériault. It's 1-0 Gamblers. PCUK looked to strike quickly to tie this game up when Vincent Bellil intercepts the ball on the boards and sends the ball in front, but Graham Hutchison pulls down the fort. Bellil is at the center of the next attack when he feeds Martin Robillard, but Hutchison makes the save. Back the other way and on a 3-on-1, Chris Saint-Marie fans twice on his shot attempts, but finally gets some lumber on his third, creating a rebound that Nick Krasowski bangs in to make it 2-0. Probably not how Saint-Marie envisioned it, but it worked. Krasowski is back at it soon after, but his shot hits the crossbar over Thériault. Vince Benetti grabs the rebound before finding Brown in the slot, who wires his second goal of the night to increase the lead to 3. Down by 3, PCUK wins the faceoff in the offensive zone. The point shot makes its way to the goalie, and a mad scramble ensues, but the Gamblers' defense clear the zone before any harm is done. With 8 minutes remaining in the first, Richard Humes grabs the ball along the boards and cuts his way into the slot. With all eyes on him, he finds Saint-Marie, who snuck behind everyone, and taps in the Gamblers' 4th goal. Just a beautiful redirect after an even nicer play by Humes. Now in the second period, and with the score 5-0, Brown will score his 3rd goal of the night, completing his hat-trick on the rebound after Mark Haggerty is stopped by Thériault. While it wasn't an easy night for the PCUK goalie, he makes 2 big saves against Vince Benetti on this play. With just over 9 minutes left in the game, the Gamblers break in on a 3-on-2. Thériault makes the initial save against Benetti, but can't locate the rebound, which allows Haggerty to score into an open net. That made it 7-0. All PCUK could hope for at this point was to ruin Hutchison's shutout bid, but the Gamblers' netminder would have nothing to do with that. The Gamblers would take this one 7-0. DJ Brown, Chris Saint-Marie, and Vince Benetti each had 4 points in this game. This marked Hutchison's only shutout of the season. While the loss means the end of the season for PCUK, the Gamblers have a date with Outlaws in the quarterfinals. Outlaws won both regular season meetings between them. As we move back to the A-League for our 4th game of the night, we find VIPs going head-to-head with Barracudas. VIPs find themselves last in the 4-team A-League and have lost 5 straight after starting the season 4-2. Barracudas sit comfortably in first, 4 points ahead of second-place Stag, with no chance of being bumped from their throne. Barracudas took the first and only meeting between the two teams this year by a score of 4-3. We start this game off with David Goldfarb with the ball in the corner. He finds Dino Del Grosso at the faceoff circle, who then finds Jimmy Sirois, who makes a nifty tip to beat goalie James Eade over his shoulder. 1-0 Barracudas. Moments later, Jason Reddy races down alone against Jamie Collister, but the Barracudas netminder is saved by his post. Back in VIP's zone, Sirois grabs the ball and sends it towards the net. The ball bounces off defenseman Jeff Lyall and straight to Darren Hill, who beats Eade on the backhand. Just like that, it's 2-0. VIPs will cut the lead in half at the 12-minute mark. Chrissy Grea finds Frank Tardy, who beats Collister with an over-the-shoulder snapshot. Lyall gets a pass on the goal. Sirois looks to regain his team's 2-goal lead, but Eade stuffs his slapshot from the slot. On the very next play though, Del Grosso passes the ball to Sirois and attacks the net. Sirois takes a low shot, forcing a rebound that Del Grosso taps in to make it 3-1 Barracudas. Back at the other end, Sean Fox sends the ball deep in the corner for Sean Laise. The VIP forward's first shot is blocked, but he grabs his own rebound and beats the goalie high glove side. 3-2 Cudas. We move on to the second period with the boys in blue on an odd man rush. Hill breaks free from his man and finds Pat O'Neill at the faceoff circle, who fakes a one-timer before passing it off to Alex Haddad. A beautiful tic-tac-toe play that reestablishes the 2-goal lead. It's now 6-2 Barracudas when Sirois, Goldfarb, and Del Grosso show off their own passing mastery with the tic-tac-toe of their own, with Sirois netting his second of the night. 7-2 Barracudas. At the 12-minute mark of the second, Gab Dufresne brings the ball into the Barracuda zone. He finds Sean Guerrero posted in the slot. His shot misses the net, but Igrea is there to tap in the rebound past Collister. 7-3 now. VIPs look to close the gap later in the period on a 3-on-1 attack, but Collister makes a point-blank save on Reddy to keep the score as is. Barracudas would add one more before the end of the game and would finally take this one 8-3. 5 Barracudas players had at least 3 points in this game, with Jimmy Sirois recording 6, with 2 goals and 4 assists. James Eade led 8 goals on 27 shots, while Collister let in 3 on 16. VIPs face stacked in the quarters, while the Barracudas face any given Wednesday to see who moves straight to the finals. In our last game of the night, we travel back to the D-League where Outlaws look to take down Trailer Park Boys. Outlaws sit in 3rd place, 2 points behind Trailer Park Boys, who hold the tiebreak against them. An Outlaws win would keep them in 3rd place, but would give the Terminators, who won earlier tonight, 1st place in the D-League. Trailer Park Boys are 6-0-1 in their last 7 games, but lost the only meeting between these two teams, 5-2. We start our last game off with the Trailer Park Boys in control in their own zone. That quickly changes when Pat Martin sends Mike Brisson on a breakaway against Eric Ladouceur, where the goalie has the final say. Now back in the boys' zone, Jean-Philippe Bertrand strips Nolan Santos of the ball and finds his teammate in the slot, but the shot goes wide. At the other end, Eric De Silva will intercept the clearing attempt after an Andy Bolak shot from the boards. He gets the ball back to number 27, who this time beats Ladouceur blocker side. Trailer Park Boys lead 1-0. Moments later, looking to pad their lead, Matt Camilleri breaks in alone on Ladouceur, but can't beat the netminder on the backhand. Now in the second period, Stéphane Trudel races down into the corner and finds Jonathan Hubert in the slot, who sees his one-timer stopped by Brian Marchetti. With about 10 minutes gone in the second, Trudel comes down the left-hand boards and gets stopped by Marchetti's poke check. The action swings back the other way, with Bolak receiving a pass from Bobby Sims. The Trailer Park Boys forward cuts around his defender before sending his backhand low blocker side to give his team the 2-goal lead. Once again, Trudel makes his way down the left side and alone against Marchetti, but this time he sidesteps the poke check and slides the ball into an empty cage. The lead is cut down to 1. 5 minutes later, Camilleri works behind the net and into the corner before spinning around his defender and making his way into the slot. His snapshot hits the defender in front and beats Ladouceur to make it 3-1 boys. Trudel and JF Hubert are at the center of the Outlaws attack. Trudel flanks around to his backhand and cuts towards the net. He outweighs Marchetti, who is far out of position, but can't squeeze the ball past the red line. With 3 minutes left in the game, Trudel and Hubert go back to work. Entering on the left wing, Trudel cuts towards the middle and passes towards Hubert. The ball bounces back to Trudel, who sends a wrister low glove side on Marchetti to cut the lead back to 1. That's as close as they would get, as the Trailer Park Boys would score an empty netter to win this one 4-2. With the win, the Trailer Park Boys reclaim first place after temporarily losing it to the Terminators, who won their game earlier in the night. They get a bye into the semifinals in the D-League playoffs. Hubert and Trudel both finished with 2 points in this game and finished 1st and 3rd respectively in the D-League scoring race. Outlaws take on Gamblers in the first round of the playoffs. And now for the worst play of the night, we head back to the PCUK vs Gamblers game, where a clearing attempt from the Gamblers zone almost turns into a goal when Martin Thériault gets caught with his head in the clouds, walking the other way. His defenseman makes sure to have a good laugh out of it. It's now time for the highlight of the night. And for that, we move to the Barracudas VIPs game, where a beautiful tic-tac-toe play between Darren Hill, Patrick O'Neill, and Alex Haddad has goalie James Eade way out of position, leaving an empty net. Good for a highlight of the night. That's it for the final episode of MBHL On The Ball this winter. With only a few games remaining to close out the regular season calendar, that can only mean one thing: playoffs and the MBHL championship. It's what every team plays for. Teams will be crowned in the next few weeks. We'll be back during the summer to bring you more hockey highlights. Until then, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Bye for now.